What's up, folks? It's Dart Man. Welcome back to Fixing the Fish. And today I'm going to cover something that a lot of YouTubers have done, but they don't really go into detail why it works, which is getting a topwater bite in the winter. Now, first of all, let's look at the stuff that I've picked out, and you can see where I'm going with this. So these are all the topwaters that I've gotten picked out. I have a mouse, a popping frog, topwater sunfish, two tackle sprinkler frogs. These are my walking baits, spook, and we got 3 different sizes of whopper ploppers. Now, the one thing that all of these have in common is that you can work these slowly. Unlike a buzz bait where you got to keep it going to keep it on top of the water, all of these can be worked really slowly on the surface. And that's kind of what you want if you're looking to get a wintertime topwater bite. You can't have baits that are too fast for the fish. You have to be able to work them, walk them in place, just keep it on the slower side of things. And as far as weather, you want a nice clear day like today. And today would be the kind of day that I would think would be perfect for a topwater bite. We've had some cold weather, overnights in the 30s, but today we're warming up into the 60s. And we've had enough time for the water to warm up in the course of the morning. It's about 1 o'clock right now. So those fish are going to move up into the shallows and they're going to try to feed. Normally you wouldn't be able to get a winter bite, but on an occasion like this where you have a severe warm up where it's gone from very cold to very warm, you have ample sunlight, these fish are going to move shallow, and that's going to be your opportunity to possibly catch a topwater fish. And there's a little bit more to that other than just it's warm out. I'm looking for a particular kind of day like today where there's not a lot of clouds in the sky, there's not a lot of wind. The lack of wind will make the fish really home in on these baits. Now, some of these may be too intimidating. That's why I brought a variety of sizes, because I'm not sure what they're going to take. They might want smaller baits, so I might have to go with, something like these two. They might want walking baits. They might want whopper ploppers. We won't know till we get out there. And the fish will kind of tell me which one of these that they're preferring. But we're going to give it a shot. Now, nothing in life is a guarantee, and this may not turn out. I have gotten winter topwater bites before, and it was always on days like today. Freak days where it's warmer than normal. And you just don't know till you get out there. So I'm going to go ahead and pack this stuff up, get my rods ready, and we're going to head down to the ponds and see if we can avoid getting hit with golf balls and see if we can get a topwater. Alright, so we're here and I'm going to start off with this whopper plopper first. And I am seeing signs of fish near the surface. Unfortunately, you can't really be subtle with a whopper plopper. So I think I'm going to go downsize just because I think this is too intimidating for these fish. They get pressured pretty hard by myself and other people. So I'm going to go down a size. So I've sort of progressed through my baits and I haven't gotten any bites. I haven't seen any evidence of a bite, so I've really gone down to a more subtle presentation, and I'm fishing super shallow. Specifically, I'm looking for little patches of weeds, things that bass will hide under in the bright sunlight where they would ambush prey. And you see that I dropped it right on the bank. No splash. Got one. Oh, he didn't take it. He did not take it. See that? That was a topwater bite. I was so not prepared for that I didn't set the hook right for a frog. Not sure if I'm going to get a second chance to catch on that fish. Looks like my mouse got crushed. I think he's got some water in him. Get that out of there. See if we can get another one. We get him back? Probably not. I think that fish is probably spooked. Ah, man, I had one on and I lost him. He must have been little. Not like the first one, but I just had him on and he hit it. Had my camera off. It sucks. I almost brought him in, but he got off as I was struggling with my camera. Now, I do wish I had a frog rod so I could really load up and drive those hooks in. It's one of the reasons I have a lot of trouble. I do have a heavier action rod on order that I'm waiting on. That'll really help. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed watching my video. And even though I didn't catch those two fish, the whole point of the video was to show that you can get a topwater bite in the winter if certain conditions are met. Now, the conditions today are pretty much not what you want for a summertime frog bite, but why did they work today? We had fairly high temperatures, about 63 degrees. We had a very bright sky with no clouds, and we did have a little bit of wind, but not a lot. And normally that would not be, some of those conditions would not be good for a topwater bite. But why does it work in the winter? Well, it works in the winter because we had a very sunny day right off the bat. There was no clouds this morning. The sun came up real early and started warming that water up. And that starts to get things moving. It sets off a sort of chain of events. As the water warms up, the algae starts to grow. There's microscopic plankton type animals in the water that the bait fish will eat, and then they get active, and then they're followed by the bass, which eat them. So it's sort of a circle of life thing. And on a day like today, when you have bright sunlight, warmer temperatures, no clouds, all that light is just going straight into those ponds and warming up the shallows. And it's turning things on, and the bass follow that up into the shallows because that's where the bait fish are. So that's why this works in the winter, but it does not work as well in the summer. So normally these conditions, like I said, do not work as well in the summer, but give them a try in the winter. You know, if you have conditions that match what I was showing in the video, go out and throw a frog or a topwater. At the very least, it's good to sort of get in the habit of that, because what happened with me was I haven't thrown any topwater in probably 5 months. So when the time came for a fish to hook up, I instinctively did a hook set that was for a Texas rig. It just shows you, you know, you can be a very good fisherman, and it's really hard to switch gears like that after you've been throwing finesse all winter. All of a sudden, you got to start doing topwater frog hook sets, or you know, even other types of hook sets. I think I learned something today more than anything else, which is I really need to sort of get my muscle memory back for these frog hook sets, because my default is going to a Texas rig hook set. And I think that's a good lesson for all of us, you know. If you're like me and you haven't fished a topwater in, you know, 5, 6 months, you might want to practice up before the summer, because when the time comes, if you're in a position like I am, you may miss a really big fish. So I may be focusing a little early this year on my topwater bite, just so I can be in that mode and sort of get out of the finesse mode, because there's potential to lose a fish there. But anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, I hope you guys get a chance to try out a topwater bite where you live. If you guys are iced in, I guess you guys will have to wait a little longer down the road, but spring is coming, so hopefully we'll all be in it soon enough. Have a good one.